Winning in to the top 8. Both players are at 30 match points, so being able to win, get that 33 match points will secure them that top 8, hopefully.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting stuff. Of course, Tord Reklev, no stranger to these tables, basically has a reservation at every single regional that he's going to be. That this table is his once or twice, and he is going to be piloting that Origin form Palkia VSTAR deck. It's one of the most impressive decks that we've seen out of Astral Radiance so far, and he's looking to add a little more to that.
Meanwhile, Rowan, again, like you mentioned, just sticking with that Fusion Strike list, Mew VMAX has been just one of the best cards to really shape this format, and it has forced a lot of people to play kind of bad dark Pokemon in their deck to make this matchup a little bit better.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of that happening. We've seen Crobat VMAXs and stuff like that. Just whatever you have to do in order to give yourself an opportunity, but I don't believe we're going to see that out of Tord this time.
Looking through the prizes, got that Silene in the prizes. One of the new cards from Astral Radiance to kind of help out this Fusion Strike list. Get a flip 2 coins, put a number of cards equal to the number of heads from your discard pile to the top of your deck, and then you just get to draw them with that Fusion Strike system with Genesect. One of the only ways to reuse those Fusion Strike energies in the deck.
Yeah, you can get pretty sneaky there, and Rowan understands that sometimes you have to lean into the flips. Hopefully the 50-50s work out for you in some of those spots, and it can definitely help you with the math here if you're trying to sneak some extra damage in play or get some Fusion Strike energies back.
All right, here we go. The start of round 14, the final round of our Swiss rounds here this weekend. Can Tord Reklev punch his ticket to top 8 yet again, or Rowan trying to make it back-to-back regionals as well?
Wow. We see some Pokemon for sure. Rowan does not have that Battle VIP pass, but does have multiple Ultra Ball. You saw the Genesect, at least one of, in the hand, so should be able to get something going here. But of course, would love to see an early Battle VIP pass. This is something that happens with Mew decks going first. It's a little unfortunate sometimes when you don't get to play that supporter, thin out with the Alyssa Sparkle, and continue to push through. But sure enough, I'm going to try to get a nice full bench here, or at least some extension. You have to consider that against Palkia and its damage output.
Looks like a couple of Genesect V in hand to go along with the Mew VMAX. Discards the Ultra Ball and the Mew V with the other Ultra Ball and finds a Meloetta. This is one of the quickest attackers for the deck with that Melodious Echo, being able to do 70 damage for each Fusion Strike energy you have attached to all your Pokemon. And with the combination of Alyssa Sparkle, that happens as soon as the first turn you can play a supporter.
That's right. Yeah, the opening Fusion Strike energy can be pretty important. Maybe you do get to 4 on the second turn, which would be nice. And here we go. Rowan does have everything he needs right now, almost a full bench, and that opening Fusion Strike system is going to draw into a Battle VIP pass if he wants it.
That's what you want to see. You always want to kind of play these when you can because they just clog your hand later on for your Fusion Strike systems. Granted, the deck does play Cramomatic to try to discard those if you need to. And we see, yeah, just a fail already has the Pokemon in hand potentially.
Yeah, did see the Greninja the Genesect next to it. That is going to be a Pokemon that gets played down here, and sure enough, we are going to see the second Fusion Strike system coming down. Drawing up to 6 now, and we see a lot of energy or damage amplifiers, but no energies right now. So, gonna have to start playing some of these cards down and maybe draw off the top.
Ooh.
And wow. That's nice.
What a draw from that one card with the last Fusion Strike system. That Fusion Strike energy being found, gets to attach it to that Mew V with the Choice Belt and a pass the turn. And while it's not the most conventional route to get there, Rowan was able to get a really good turn 1.
Well, Rowan just going to go ahead and give Origin form Palkia V a little smooch with his Mew. Love to see that. And a Capacious Bucket coming down from Tord. It is very important that Tord finds multiple Pokemon here. This Palkia is in danger. It can get knocked out by a Mew VMAX pretty easily. just knowing how the ins and outs work of this Mew deck. So would love to see some additional Pokemon. And you see right there, Battle VIP Pass is a card that's in his deck. If he's able to find a resource like that, surely could get a bench that'd be a little more resilient than this 0 card bench right now.
And that's honestly to the way Tord built his deck. The full 4 copy of Irida, being able to search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card, that just allows you to play that Irida, grab that Battle VIP Pass, that one of in the list, and it's like you're grabbing 3 Pokemon. Like, who loves a Pokemon collector?
Yeah, this is pretty nice, and of course, you'd love to see the Irida in the opening hand. It's what gives this deck a lot of its power. It's a nice, consistent card, and of course, seeing it in the hands of Tord just makes you think that it's got to be correct. We've seen a lot of different lines with this Origin Form Palkia deck and how to go about the build, and feels comfortable with this build that's heavier on the supporters.
Hand here a little bit awkward. It is just flush with water energy, but does have the quick ball for that Radiant Greninja to try to draw a few more cards. You see the Melanie in hand, so Tord will be able to play a supporter this turn, although it's not that Irida to grab that Battle VIP Pass.
Yep, we do see the Melanie in hand, so that will at least be able to draw 3 cards if Radiant Greninja were not to find the Irida. So 5 cards potentially to draw into that Battle VIP Pass or some additional basic Pokemon here. This is not an ideal setup so far, but Radiant Greninja may be able to mix things up here.
Plenty of energy in hand to discard 4 concealed cards, and we'll see that here, drawing 2 extra cards for Tord. Oh.
That ain't it, Chief. Yeah, that's not going to be too nice. Oh, well, we do see Lumineon. So the art threw me off for a second, but sure enough, that will be a fantastic way to get the job done. And that luminous sign, going to go ahead and be able to search that out. Maybe you don't always want to play that down. 170 hit points is pretty easy for Rowan to go ahead and target, but sure enough, you have to play this at this stage and get something going here, because you're not going to win a game with just a Radiant Greninja and no Sobbles, no extra Palkias in play.
Tord searching for the full art one. You got to go for it, you know. You don't want that regular one just sitting at the bottom of the deck.
Give the people what they want.
And there we see the Irida on. Could grab something like a Drizzile here with the Irida. It's not just a basic Pokemon that you have to grab.
Yeah, you'd think ideally that the setup would be double Palkia and double Sobble to get this going. You'd have multiple opportunities to get through your deck with future Drizziles. And of course, if one of these Palkia V were to fall on the following turn, you at least have something to attack with later on. So looks like an ideal setup here.
Oh, and does have that Evolution Incense in hand, so doesn't need that Drizzile right away.
Yep, the Melanie follow-up is also pretty nice. Maybe if you don't want to, if you can't get maximum ability out of your V-Star from your Palkia V-Star, then maybe you can just go ahead and attach with the Melanie, attach for turn, and find a nice attack.
Well, all said and done, Tord's turn does look pretty good. Unfortunate that he did have to bench that Lumineon V again. Just giving up those extra 2 prize Pokemon to Mew is never a good feeling.
Yes, Tord's definitely aware of that. And here we go. We see the energy onto the active Palkia V. And rule the region. It has is it a 0% success rate on stream so far for winning?
It is a 0% success rate, but being able to find Path to the Peak against a Mew deck is pretty good here.
Yes, this is a calculated play by Tord. Of course, Path to the Peak is a fantastic way to counter some of the playability of this Mew deck, and it might actually work out here. Who knows?
I don't know. We see that Alessa Sparkle coming from Rowan. 2 energies on the active Mew V and the Mew V on the bench. You have that Psychic energy in hand, the Mew VMAX to go along with it, and I think I'm smelling a knockout.
Yeah, that was not me. That is a knockout. It is going to be a really nasty turn here from Rowan. He already has that Mew VMAX ready to go. Gets to draw some additional cards here too, and this is a big knockout, and it leaves Tord in a really awkward spot where he needs to find a lot of pieces, at least that choice belt, to get this knockout here and have some contention.
It'll be interesting to see where Rowan puts this energy. Opted To not attach it before the Fusion Strike system could be eyeing a discard with the Ultra Ball. Yeah, it does have that Training Court in hand, I believe. But that is one of the ways to bump that Path to the Peak, and kind of want to save that in your hand.
Yeah, the Pumpkaboo is one of the more important cards in this deck, just being able to have some playability after the Path to the Peak comes down. Maybe Marnie comes down too, or that Roxanne, of course, drawing you to just 2 cards. So if you're able to hold things like Ultra Ball, then you just put yourself in a spot where immediately off the top you have 3 cards, and you can get the ball rolling again with your Fusion Strike system.
And there is that cross Fusion Strike copying the Melodious Echo for 240 damage, enough to take the knockout on that Origin form Palkia V. Rowan now down to 4 prizes, and Tord looking to actually start playing this game, get a Melanie, hopefully a Palkia VSTAR, and has the hand to do it.
Yep, just looking for potential damage amplifiers. Nothing just yet, but of course could set up something with a big attack, and then later finding the quick shooting Inteleon to assist in taking a knockout.
I guess one potential play is maybe trying to set up a Path to the Peak with Roxanne. Again, Path to the Peak is one of the best cards against Rowan, and Tord's not able to play it right now. Rowan still needs to take 1 more knockout for you to be able to activate Roxanne's ability, but that could be a devastating combination to get that Stadium out of Rowan's hand.
Yeah, there's a few ways to go about this matchup. Of course, just the fact that Mew VMAX could copy a Psychic Leap and run away means that leaving damage on board can always be a little bit awkward, but you can already see that that's not an attack option right now. If there were enough water energies in the deck, or in the discard pile, you could see Tord maybe starting to charge up that Radiant Greninja and spreading the damage amongst the Mew VMAXs, and then starting to work in some knockouts. But you need to have those Drizziles down if you want to work in quick shooting Inteleon to make the math work out. At its absolute peak, the Palkia VSTAR is going to be doing 260 damage. Then you add in that Choice Belt to hit 290. You got to sneak in that extra 20 somewhere.
Looking like Origin form Palkia VSTAR, and Level Ball is the grab off the Irida. Level Ball can find you that Drizzile. And it looks like that's what it's going to be. Drizzile now will be able to allow Tord to search his deck thanks to Shady Dealings. Being able to search your deck for any trainer card, put it in your hand, really just shape the format, this ability with this Inteleon line.
Yeah, we are going to definitely miss it whenever it rotates. So this is well, depending on how you're feeling about it. This has definitely been one of the most impactful Stage 2 Pokemon lines that we have seen in the game, and we definitely have seen so much of it here on stream. It continues to be an impressive card, and especially when you get to play it in combination with water energies and start sneaking in attacks, it's just a completely different beast.
Quick Ball does find a second Origin form Palkia V, attaches or plays it to the bench. And remember, Tord used the Irida this turn, so we're just gonna have to see a Star Portal to get this Palkia charged up.
We've seen a lot of different techs in these Origin form Palkia decks trying to make the math work out a little better. Tord trusting the quick shooting Inteleon to get there, but we've seen cards like Galarian Zigzagoon. You already have Scoop Up Nets in there. We've seen Leon go ham and start to work things out too. So gonna just go ahead and eye up the consistency instead of just this nice clean build, and hopefully try to get there with the Drizziles later on. You see the nod to the Radiant Greninja, a nice attacker to sneak in when you are dealing damage that isn't a full knockout just yet.
But with this, Tord just has to subspace Swell for 260 damage.
Just.
Oh,
that has to hurt. So unfortunate. Yeah, it's not that bad. This is going to be pretty fine for Tord. You can see a world where maybe the Radiant Greninja comes in, deals the chip damage, and then the Mew VMAX the bench space opens up. You can see the Mew hit the board, and then Psychic Leap plays are back in line, and that's where things can maybe get awkward for Tord, but that's at least a few turns down the line.
I don't know if we're going Psychic Leap. I think Rowan's going for it all. 2 Power Tablet being played. That's now 90 extra damage thanks to that Choice Belt, and that's enough to take the knockout with a Melodious Echo on that Origin Form Palkia VSTAR.
Oh yeah, we're not going anywhere in this stage. This is deep plays 3 turns down the line. We're good right here. These are cards that Rowan has been holding on to since the opening turn. He saw that Power Tablet. He got that Choice Belt down early so that he could continue to draw through, and he is prepared for a stage like this. 280 is something that he finds fairly often, and sure enough, he's going to have that lined up already. And let's go ahead and get some cards back, shall we? There's one flip.
All right, can put back a Power Tablet. Those are in the discard. Opts for the Ultra Ball, though.
Yeah, this is a great nod to the Pumpkaboo, because you know that your opponent is likely going to play the Path to the Peak in combination with a Roxanne on this turn, because you're going to get them within that threshold of prize cards. And the more Ultra Balls that you have, that's going to be even more potential outs that you have to reaching that Pumpkaboo and continuing to draw.
And there we go. Cross Fusion Strike copies the Melodious Echo yet again. Plenty of damage to take the knockout, and Rowan now down to 2 prizes left for this game 1.
Yep, Rowan did have an energy in hand and chose not to play it, maybe thinking that a different energy onto the Mew VMAX is something that he'd rather have. Maybe the damage output is something he's considering too, just because double turbo can reduce a little bit there.
It's also the 1 double turbo in Rowan's list, only playing the 1. We've seen some lists play up to 4.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of different versions of this deck, and Rowan has locked in on this variant. So we'll see if he is able to find the right cards at the right time, because Tord is definitely going to make him work for it. We already see Scoop Up Net and the Roxanne right there, and this is going to get fun as Radiant Greninja is lining up some pretty nice attacks.
I mean, this is the time for Tord Roxanne Path, and hope it sticks.
Oh, doing everything that you can in this situation. It always feels like an uphill battle as the Origin Form Palkia player, just prize cards falling left and right, but this is where you want to be. It's oddly enough, down 6-2, this is a situation where you can start to make things happen. Rowan hasn't necessarily gotten through the deck that much. His opening turn was strong, but after that, he's played pretty slow turns. So maybe you do stick him on 3 cards that go nowhere, and Pumpkaboo is never found again.
The Scoop Up Net does allow Tord to reuse this Drizzile and its shady dealings for this turn, but looks like there's not really much you kind of want here, kind of eyeing down that Choice Belt, maybe just get it down on that Palkia while you can.
Yep, definitely considering all of his options right now.
There's just 1 hour left to sign up for side events.
Plenty of decisions for Tord here, but yeah, it's just discarding 2 supporters with that Ultra Ball. Melanie and Boss's Orders hit the discard, but he's going to be able to grab that V-Star for that Palkia.
Yeah, just do as much work as you can right now. Get the board in the best possible situation. Choice Belt down, Path to the Peak, and energy for the turn. And sure enough, Sobble Roxanne. Here we go.
Now with Roxanne, Rowan is going to be drawing 2 cards toward 6. So it has a little better than a lot of the disruption we've seen in the past.
This is just an N. What world? What year is this?
Now these 2 cards are going to be very important for Rowan here. We'll at least have a bench space free, so if you have access to a Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, you can grab that Pumpkaboo and get rid of that Path to the Peak right away.
Big fan of not looking at the cards off the Roxanne. don't give yourself any tells to Tord. If any player in the world is going to pick it up, I'm sure he'd be able to read right through that mask and see what you're feeling.
Using that X-ray vision. The Hisuian Heavy Ball fails to find a basic Pokemon, but Tord now really knows what's in his prizes. Usually you kind of already know searching through your deck.
There we go. See the replacement. The PAL pad on the bottom could be nice. We saw a couple relevant supporters already reaching the discard pile. Maybe a reset with a Roxanne is lined up if a boss's orders isn't found off of all the shenanigans from Rowan on the following turn.
Yeah, boss's orders energy, all Rowan needs to actually take this game one and force Tord to try to make a 2-0 comeback in this match. But here we see just Tord thinning the hand out, thinning the deck out, doing whatever you can to set up for next turn.
Yep, give yourself as many opportunities as you can. You already have Drizzile down, so you have Inteleon on the following turn. One Sobble is going to be fine. You see the scoop up net as well, so maybe go ahead and play that second one and feels comfortable doing that. And we are going to see that Moonlight Shuriken. It is going to target out the Meloetta and the Mew VMAX. Take those two prize cards, and you can already see Tord thinking about how to close this game out. But there's an energy.
It's an energy, but the hand is a battle VIP pass and a Mew V. So not enough to take the knockout on the Lumineon to seal up the victory here. You still can take the knockout on that Radiant Greninja, but then Tord, you can't boss and Melanie in the same turn, so.
I don't know what that prize card was, but it wasn't a Cremomatic, and you'd have to think that was a good one to get. So Rowan's going to just wait on that too, leave that in his hand, and we'll see what he's got for the following turn. Tord now having to put this together.
He has the pieces, right? You got that level, both level balls for the Drizziles. Just needs an energy and Melanie.
Yeah,
and that quick shooting Inteleon.
Oh, the bench is a lot smaller than it used to be.
Oh, it is.
So that is going to be a scary piece. Now it's just about can you maybe endure a hit right now with your Palkia VSTAR and buy yourself that one extra turn. It's a little too much to ask of your deck to give you multiple energies and the switching effect. But if you do play a card like Escape Rope, maybe that's something possible. Don't know if that's in the list.
Quick look through, there is not.
Well, shucks.
Here we do see the Melanie. So with the second energy, this Origin Form Palkia VSTAR will be able to be charged up and use this subspace as well to get some damage on Rowan's Mew VMAX. And one thing that's also important to remember is Rowan had to use Technoblast last turn, so this Mew is going to have to get out of the active and back into the active even just to attack.
Yeah, you're asking a lot right now of your deck when you have just 3 cards, 2 of them nearly unplayable. Well, at least Mew's a decent one, I guess. Battle VIP pass, no bueno.
There is that quick shooting Inteleon found off that Evolution Incense. This adds 20 damage each of your turns to any of the Pokemon that you choose. And we'll see the quick shooting on the benched Genesect V. Just softening it up for potentially a boss's orders next turn.
There goes the Pal Pad.
Puts just the one boss's orders back in the deck. You know what you need, and Tord needs that boss's orders. There is the subspace well, and quick ball off the top. Pumpkaboo for Rowan here. All right, here we go. Pumpkin Pit discards that Path to the Peak, and we're going to see some Fusion Strike systems hopefully drawing Rowan some cards.
Yeah, I believe you already said that Mew is in hand, so that's going to be drawing to 5 now. The Pumpkaboo is not going to be included in that addition there, but a welcomed addition to the bench there as it is removing that Path to the Peak. And Rowan definitely has some life this turn.
We still have not seen a Pokemon Catcher in this game yet.
Oh, here we go. We're going all in right now. The power tablet is down. This is going to be the big turn to strike. We just see a Pokemon Catcher in hand. Do need to see a switching effect still.
There's the scoop up net, I believe, or no, that's a Rotom phone.
Oh. Wow.
Heads.
Already. Go ahead, bring up the Sobble. We see some thinning available. The Rotom phone, if the Escape Rope is on top, but that doesn't work out.
No.
The ordering's a little awkward there.
That's why you play the Rotom phone first.
We see Cramomatic too. Just gonna go for the rope. Maybe there is a combination that he feels comfortable with. Maybe could work through the Palkia or just draw into more of those catching effects. Boss's orders may still be around in the deck. No supporter for the turn just yet.
Second Fusion Strike system, not just yet.
Yeah, go ahead and play that energy down. You're going to be attacking with the active
4
in this
cards.
situation.
Needs a Boss's orders here.
Finds the wrong supporter, but more ways to thin down with Ultra Ball. The Cramomatic would have been it. Has the Quick Ball to get rid of the Alyssa Sparkle now. One more thin.
And again, there's so many outs for Rowan here. Switch is an out. Boss's orders is an out. More Pokemon Catcher is an out. Granted, that's on a heads.
It's always heads. Well, yeah, this is that does open up more questions here. You already have the escape rope. Is that a card you play first and work towards the boss's orders, or do you play into these outs here? It looks like holding on to it is going to be the resource, and can he find it? We see the switch, and that's huge.
It. Rowan able to take game 1 off of Tord when Tord is just 1 turn away from doing the same himself.
That is exactly how this match plays out. It is so fun to see the 2 juggernauts of the format going head-to-head, and 2 juggernauts of the competitive field in Rowan and Tord Reklev. So really exciting to see Rowan getting the best of Tord in this situation right now, but still 25 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time to at least give us one more good game, and potentially if we play a little quicker, we might get a game 3, who knows?
That's all I can really ask for is 3 games between these 2 great players.
I'd watch 20.
Now, again, Tord is going to be going first, most likely, right? I know with this matchup, Mew can just come out of nowhere and take prizes easily.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a debate there. You know that turn 1 Melodious Echo is something that can absolutely happen. Mew going second can be disastrous. So I'm curious to see what Tord thinks of that. I'm sure he's tested all of those situations left and right to see what works, especially with his list that's so focused on supporters.
Yeah, you kind of want to go second just so you can have that turn 1 Irida, get that battle VIP pass, and get things set up.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense in a deck like this, and trying to get all of those Pokemon down. You just can't afford to have only 1 Palkia on board at any point in this match.
It's going to be big opening hands for both players here. Looks like a Oricorio start for Rowan, either that or a Genesect.
Yeah. Tord has a fantastic hand, but cannot say the same about his prize cards. That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, that Lumineon Enterprises could come up.
Whoa!
And whoa.
That's not good. Yep, 2 Fusion Strike energy is going to be pretty tricky. It means you have to use a lot of power tablets to get through that first Palkia VSTAR. That's not the way that you want to go about this match. So we'll see how this works out for these players here.
Tord will start things off here for game 2, and with a Capacious Bucket. Tord really loves this card, playing full 4 copies in the list. Just really misses Professor's Letter.
It's so good. It is Professor's Letter for water. But yeah, everyone else, we've seen the inclusion of Energy Search in a lot of decks that play Inteleon, just because it's so important to have access to every single resource in your deck. Go ahead, make it an item card so that you can take full advantage of it. And in this list, it makes so much sense. You're pitching these energies left and right with Radiant Greninja. You're bringing them back with your V-Star from your Palkia, and it's so impressive to see these energies flying left and right. So go ahead and maximize your outs to getting all of them.
Now again, with Tord going first, we'll not be able to attack, so we won't see a keep calling or anything like that. And it's going to be pretty important if he has more basic Pokemon in the hand or ways to grab them. And look, there's an Origin Form Palkia V.
Oh no.
Pass of the turn.
That's not it. There's a card called Escape Rope that we've seen, and that can definitely lead to some devastation. Of course, it's a lot to ask from Rowan. Starts with a Cramomatic, and that's not going to hit heads. Instead, going to work his way through with that opening battle VIP pass.
Now with this, we'll be able to grab 2 Pokemon, thanks to it being the first turn for Rowan. But this is where you find out, oh no. That prized 2 Fusion Strike energy.
Yeah, I'm going to need to make the most of these. That means that the opening attack damage from Melodious Echo is going to be capped at 140. You're going to have to find the amplifiers from other ways.
That also means Rowan just deciding not to grab that Meloetta, opting for the Genesect V instead. Maybe a Psychic Leap could take a knockout on this Sobble in the active, and that's the game plan you're kind of going for.
Yeah, there's a world where you keep this bench thin enough and you don't have to worry about a Palkia taking a knockout. It's a lot to ask Tord to fill his bench and start to get things going, but we'll see what Rowan has in store. It's pretty thin right now with just Switch and Power Tablet in hand.
Has the Switch, though. That could be a card you can burn. Switch that Mew. Mew does have free retreat, and we see it there. Rowan drawing 3 cards now with Fusion Strike system.
Let's see, Pokemon Catcher. Another power, or maybe it's the same Power Tablet just getting shuffled around.
Just 1 card. Cramomatic really digging for that Alessa Sparkle here.
Yeah, here we go. Cramomatic, not happening.
Yep, just a retreat to the Oricorio pass. Now Tord senses a little bit of weakness in Rowan's setup here.
Bird pass is weakness? Oh, man. I thought that was an intimidation move. Look at that.
I don't think Oricorio has Intimidate.
Oh, okay. I need to watch more VGC.
Now, with this shady dealings, we'll be able to find a trainer card. And it looks like Scoop Up Net is the option. I think there's a Irida in hand for Tord.
Yep, sure enough, going to go ahead and use that Irida. Try to add on to this board state a little more. A little thinner than he's used to.
Eyeing down that Tool Jammer. Pretty good card offensively to shut off some cards like Big Charm and Cape of Toughness, but here is actually useful in just shutting off that Choice Belt from dealing extra damage to your Palkia V.
Yeah, you might have a read right now when you see your opponent not going for a card like Meloetta when they're going second, going a little bit slower, but honestly, double Cramomatic Tails and 2 cards in hand also could just be a bad hand. So either way, playing a little safe here with the Tool Jammer could certainly work out for Tord. Has plenty of hit points to work with and should be able to get on the offensive pretty soon here.
We do see the Origin Form Palkia VSTAR come down for Tord. Energy to go along with it, so we will see a subspace swell. And there's that Tool Jammer and double Sobble hitting the bench as well. So pretty good turn, enough to take the knockout on that Oricorio. And now Rowan's going to have to do something. Brings up that Genesect V just so you can burn that escape rope.
Well, Power Tablet against the Sobble isn't exactly where you want to be, but cards are important. You do see that Mew V coming down now. Quick ball in hand, but it's a boss's orders as well. And
honestly, I think you just have to quick ball for a Genesect. Oh no, we're going to go the little more safe route. Bring up the Origin Form Palkia V, draw some cards, and now we're going to quick ball.
All right, 3rd Genesect now. This is always pretty fair. You will be able to potentially find your Mew VMAX now. You have that belt and the tablet already down, so plenty damage to take a knockout here if you find the right cards, but we're not finding them.
Thankfully, did have that Rose Tower, so was able to draw up to 3 cards and save that Fusion Strike system yet again. And with this quick ball, there's now 4 Genesect V in play. Rowan still needing to find an energy and the Mew VMAX to take a knockout here.
Oh, there's Mew VMAX.
And an energy.
Wow. Full commit right now to the board. 4 Genesects is what it takes in order to make this work. 3 Fusion Strike systems. Gets the Mew online and ready to go.
And again, with that Tool Jammer on the Origin Form Palkia VSTAR, you're not really worried about this Mew VMAX getting returned KO'd. So now you're just trying to set up for next turn. Your opponent might play down the path, might do something, but a pretty good response here from Rowan.
Yeah, that's so big. And of course, getting to draw those prize cards, very nice. Finds one of the Fusion Strikes, so maybe when a space opens up, Meloetta will be able to find some relevance. We'll see if that does make an impact at any point.
Meanwhile, Tord starts off the turn with another Irida. We're going to be saying that a lot, 4 of them in the deck, but Tord loved this card. Being able to just have the access to search your deck for anything is pretty great.
Yeah, consistency has always been Tord's friend. We've seen him with the Bridget from time to time. He snuck Sonya into his deck so that he could get some consistency when no one plays that card. And Irida is going to be a perfect addition in a deck like this. Just continuing to find exactly the right piece at the right time. Keep yourself in contention in this matchup right now. And just the one Palkia VSTAR is going to have to do this right now unless he starts finding a few more resources.
It's definitely going to be tough. You want to try to fill that bench out as well, just to get the most amount of damage you can. But with this Hisuian Heavy Ball, we'll find another Origin form Palkia V, so that gets attached to the bench. Tord just throws the prizes. You're like, yeah, it's 6 cards.
Yeah, when
5 cards.
When you lose the opening game and it took 25 minutes, you're going to play very fast, and this is exactly what Tord's built to do. He understands the situation he's in, and you don't have seconds right now to get that done. You need to fly through this game, and sure enough, he is doing just that. 240
damage on the active Mew VMAX for Rowan, and now starts off the turn with Ultra Ball, discarding that Meloetta. Not really going to do much good, although you have access to 3 Fusion Strike Fusion Strike energies now.
Yep, maybe not in the ideal place, as not all of them are in the deck right now.
So they're all in the hand. Yeah.
We see the Alessas to get pitched away too. Gonna have some additional attackers right now. The second Mew VMAX coming down too. And goodbye, friends. We don't need any of that Meloetta shenanigans here.
Ultra Ball just thinning the hand down for the first of many Fusion Strike systems for Rowan. 5 cards off the top. Needs a way to, again, just filter through the Pokemon here. You have Cramomatic, discards the switch, heads.
Ooh.
Could it find maybe a boss's orders or something of the like?
Yeah, there's certainly an argument to maybe go after the benched Palkia V and then just make this last Palkia VSTAR the big attack, the final way to close this game out. Not having to go through 280 hit points twice is a great way to make sure you conserve all of your resources.
Second Fusion Strike system after that boss's orders. Oh, I think Rowan grabbed the Rotom Phone from the Cramomatic, but didn't put it in his hand. Already had the boss's orders in hand.
Okay, just explaining that right now, making sure that the judge understands where he's at. So he's going to go ahead and take the Rotom Phone now, I believe. We'll see if he gets to use the Rotom Phone or if they consider the Fusion Strike announced. And yeah, this seems like the fair play right now. But wow, go ahead and add a tablet into the hand. We will.
The tablet was what Rowan needed to take this knockout with the benched Mew VMAX. So that's really just perfect.
Yeah, that is definitely a big addition here. There's an argument either way, I guess. The Choice Belt is a nice card to have on the active, but go ahead and make use of this tablet. Make your opponent have to consider using a boss's orders if they want to take a knockout instead of using a Roxanne. And this is a really nice spot that Rowan finds himself in now, being able to take a big knockout, get down to just 2 prize cards against the biggest name in the tournament, and find yourself 2 prizes away from potentially locking up your spot in the top 8.
Tord definitely on the back foot here, and looking at the hand, does have the Evolution Incense, so we'll be able to continue to go through some cards, but...
Not Inteleon, though.
Yeah, not Inteleon.
It's in the prize cards, a lot of big cards in the prize cards, so Shady Dealings Inteleon not going to be available. Quick Shooting is still in there, but Drizzile will be the last way to add an additional card, and that's not going to be it. Tord understands the writing is on the wall. Rowan Stavenow going to continue to push himself into the top 8 yet again. Once in Vancouver, now in Milwaukee.
Tord's magical comeback run ends here in round 14 to Rowan and his Mew VMAX deck, and that is just insane to think about. Rowan now hopefully punching his ticket to another consecutive top 8 here at regionals.
Yeah, that's
Oh. No, never mind. They're going to game 3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened. All right, well, it looks like we actually have game 3 going on. I don't know if we missed out on something with a judge call, perhaps, or with some prizes or something of the sort. We'll have to go ahead and confirm. But, hey, we get additional Pokemon. This is going to be good. We love to see that. So it looks like we do have some extra time, and these players are going to be continuing to push forward.
Yeah,
Where's the information, people?
we wanted 3 games, and I guess we're going to get it here. It must have been, I guess, maybe a penalty off of the Rotom phone?
Yeah, maybe Rowan just understood he didn't have a way to clean up a Palkia and just said something to Tord and let him know, like, I don't have enough time to close this thing out. We're going to go ahead and try game 3. So would have loved to have that information, but you know what? We'll stop making assumptions. We'll just start watching Pokemon. Let's get into this game as game 3 is rolling, and it is going to be fast and furious now. Rowan jumping into things at a lightning pace.
Meanwhile, Turbo Tord is activated for this game 3, round 14. Prizes don't look too bad for both players. A couple Palkia in the prizes for Tord.
Yeah, the Battle VIP pass for Tord in the prize cards. Going second and having access to Irida, that's going to be pretty unfortunate. You'd love to get to be able to use that resource, but Rowan blasting off right now.
This is probably the quickest you'll ever see a Fusion Strike player play their deck, especially with the amount of interactions that you have to do. There's so many abilities and discarding and shuffling. Meanwhile, Tord starts the turn. Capacious Bucket, 2 waters to the hand. Yeah, and it looks like Rowan just scooped the game there. Again, just not having enough time to seal it up and opting to try his luck for this game 3 with 10 minutes left.
Guess he just knew about some power tablets and not having enough damage amplifiers.
I'm not complaining. We got 3 games, 2 of the best players right now, and again, a win will punch it into top 8, but a tie will knock both of these players out.
Yeah, we don't need that right now. This is definitely a situation where we'd love to see a winner, and Tord is going to play as fast as possible to match this pace that Rowan has. Both these players would love to see a finish here.
We're going to see a quick ball from Tord. Discards that Starmie V. Not really useful in this match. Grabs that Origin Form Palkia V. Another quick ball, hopefully grabbing a Sobble. You'd like to see 2 of those down at least.
Yeah, can be a little awkward. Finding the second Palkia V is important just because you don't want to have that catcher to boss this turn. We could see the keep calling from the Sobble to find the additional ones, and it looks like that's going to be the line.
Oh, okay. So I have confirmation on why Rowan scooped.
Please tell me.
Tord bossed a Genesect, and Rowan had no way of getting it out of the active spot, so he would have decked out.
Oh. We just need a mic to the table a little louder so that we can pick that up, because that's big. That's a really nice find by Tord in order to lock that up. And shout out to Rowan for understanding the situation and giving these players both enough time to try to close out and find a win here.
The play-by-play for this game is going to be a little lackluster. These players are moving lightning fast, trying to get this game going. Boss's orders brings up the Origin Form Palkia V. You have 2 energies on that Mew VMAX. Switch to try to thin the hand down, looking for a power tablet or a choice belt. It does not look like Rowan has it. Slowing down a little bit now.
Oh no, just gonna have to put the damage on, and that's not a fun place to be in. Maybe sets up some damage later, but yeah, that's not very much.
Just opts for the Max Miracle, 130 damage, and now Tord is trying to go for it. Melanie on the active Origin Form Palkia V has the VSTAR, has the energy in hand, or at least will with this Capacious Bucket.
Yep, the attachment came down from the Melanie, so we were going to see the attachment for the turn, and Tord is going to jump quickly into this Drizzile, search through, try to get the ball rolling a little further, finds Evolution Incense, and that's going to be a nice setup for the following turn. If you can start working your way towards Inteleon, you get a lot more access, and you get to use that scoop-up net in combination with that and just keep this chain rolling where you find all the right pieces at the right time.
And I just want to clarify, the game is not sped up for y'all. This is how fast these players are playing. There is the subspace swell. 240 damage on that Mew VMAX. Cramomatic, Tails.
Yeah, another big flip missing there. We see the Alyssa Sparkle coming down now. That's going to be multiple attachments. If none are in the prize card, sure enough, we see both of those right now. So onto the Mew and to the Meloetta. 280 damage available. So definitely big knockouts lined up here, and we could see some additional attackers lining up. We do see the Mew V coming down with the Psychic Energy. Can he find the VMAX to have an additional attacker? Cramomatic is going to be the flip. Oh. It was heads, it's heads again, so it's going to be able to go ahead and find that Mew VMAX, and things are rolling here. We also see the Pokemon Catcher, so could cash in on some damage on the benched Origin Form Palkia V if you want to go ahead and take that knockout.
Cramomatic was finding the Battle VIP pass, but
I don't know what's happening.
No.
Okay.
It's because Rowan has
Ultra
another Cramomatic. Heads anyway, doesn't matter. Gets that Battle VIP pass out of the hand, and still needs the Mew VMAX here.
I've never Cramomatic for a Battle VIP pass on turn 3 or 4, but here we are, and that's what you got to do at this stage. 6 minutes on the clock, and Mew is absolutely going for it right now. We see the hand thin down because of the double Cramomatic, and the Genesect is going to draw up with a Fusion Strike system.
Another Genesect V. Now it's fully unlocked, drawing up to 6.
Yep, this does get a little bit dangerous. The board is completely full now, so this means that with the Shady Dealing Inteleon, or the quick Shooting Inteleon, you will be able to reach maximum damage here with the Palkia VSTAR on the following turn if you need to on a fresh Mew VMAX. We do see in the active spot just the one with 240 damage already in place, so quick knockouts already lined up. We're going to see if Radiant Greninja has what it takes to close this out right now, and Tord is going to believe in that card. May have enough water energies to get the job done.
Has access to the Evolution Incense in hand that can grab that Inteleon, as you were saying, and can grab something like a Drizzile just to continue on with Shady Dealings.
Yeah, you can see a pretty nice play here if Tord is able to get these energies accelerated by the way of his Star Portal onto this Pokemon. You get those energies on there. You have a Palkia V, you get a Palkia V Star, and you attach an energy to it. Then you have 4 energies on board, 3 on the active. You take a knockout here on the Mew VMAX. You also take the Meloetta. You have the energy in play on the following turn for your Palkia V Star, and then you can take a knockout on a Genesect with a boss's orders. So you can already see the 6 prizes lined up in 2 turns, and the play could start to slow down a little bit. 4.5 minutes on the clock, but 2 turns potentially from being able to close this out is toward Reklev.
That Inteleon with Shady Dealings was the choice off that Evolution Incense. So now 2 more trainer cards for Tord. And again, like you said, can be eyeing down just cards for next turn as well.
Yeah, we do see the pace starting to slow down now. Tord understands where he's at in the match right now, and it does start to feel fairly comfortable once you see that the Mew doesn't take the opening knockout on that Palkia V. It was a big miss from Rowan not being able to find the damage to take the knockout. And Tord is going to line this thing up. We see the water energies tilting to the side. It's going to be a nod to the Star Portal from the Palkia VSTAR, that big VSTAR ability that has basically defined this format so far, this young format of Astral Radiance.
Concealed cards did draw 2 cards for Tord, finds Capacious Bucket, plays it to thin the deck out yet again, has the Melanie, 3 more cards, and then with the Evolution Incense, we'll have that Palkia VSTAR.
Yeah, there's a world where you also have a second Turbo or a second Origin Form Palkia V, and then you could have an energy on that one as well, and then you're just completely you're not susceptible to any of the big boss, the big catcher flips trying to take away the Palkia that has an energy in play. You could have both of them down and still get your 3 energies onto the Radiant Greninja for the big quadruple prize exchange right now. So they're going to see what Tord feels comfortable with here.
Opts for that Hisuian Heavy Ball. Remember, there's a Palkia at least in the prizes, so this is just a way to get that second attacker like you were saying.
All right, into the prize cards we go. Tord is going to find that Palkia V, so certainly thinking of just about everything here in this situation. Going to have that down. Energy attachment is available. Last energy in the hand, so both of these Palkia V are ready to go now. Doesn't have to worry about one disappearing. It would have to be some hand disruption, and you know that's not a likely thing to come out of a Mew deck right now, so has to be feeling fairly comfortable now, Tord, on this side. Tool Jammer even.
Yeah, Tool Jammer going to be pretty big. Also splitting the decision with the Choice Belt. There is that Star Portal. 3 energy on that Radiant Greninja, and just one step closer is Tord now. Went from basically what we thought losing to now all of a sudden being in a great position here.
Yeah, I understand the pace of play too. Of when you find that boss's orders play and you go ahead and you skip quickly into that last turn, that last game. So sure enough, just making the most of every second that they have here in this time. 4 prizes for Tord right now. He's got the definitely the attackers lined up to close this out. The Inteleon in hand, so boss's orders is definitely going to be available for that Genesect. And Rowan needs to find a miracle right now. Cramomatic's a good way to start that off.
Being able to search for any card, but what card do you look for at this point? I guess just a boss's orders here. It's awkward though, because you kind of want to go for that Palkia VSTAR because that's the one attacker right now, but the only one you can actually take the KO on is going to be this Origin Form Palkia V.
Yeah, maybe there's a world where you can Silene into multiple power tablets if your opponent just doesn't have it. And yeah, this is going to be a Technoblast knockout, and I think Tord should be able to find this here. He has the energy already in play. Energy is in hand, and Luminion is going to be able to search out that boss. Take back everything we said, because there's like 8 ways to find the win here. Tord never misses top 8, and he's going to find his way.
What were we thinking? What were we thinking? Come on, what a game. Tord Reklev pulling it out of nowhere, decking out Rowan in game 2, and then game 3 has that boss's orders in combination with that subspace swell to take the knockout on that Genesect and moving to 33 match points, punching a ticket into top 8.
That was definitely a gentleman's game. There was an understanding that we are going to find a winner. We're going to play as fast as we need to get the job done. Rowan